Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We're the Counseling Geeks. I'm Courtney.
I'm Dave.
And today we wanted to put together a video about what therapists really think like when you're in session. And the reason why we did this is we sometimes get some people asking, like clients particularly, like, did that sound weird? Like, I don't want to be judged. And we just kind of want to set the record straight as far as like what happens in our heads when somebody is, telling us something or, maybe sharing something that they've never shared before. And I think this is also helpful in maybe reducing the stigma of mental health. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we really want to put a spotlight on, what's happening in our world and just demystifying, sometimes I think what happens in therapy sessions. So Dave, do you want to go first or do you have some ideas?
Yeah. I think just what going on some of the things that you were just talking about was, honestly, we see a lot of people, and we have, if you think about it, we're seeing, 8 to 10 or 11 people a day. Been doing this for years and years and years, and we've heard just about everything that you're going to hear. And does that mean that things aren't going to shock us? No, because I'm human and things shock me at times. But there is no judgment here. We're here to help you. We are not here to judge you at all. Our goal is to clinically get you where you need to be, not worry about the specific things that are going on that we merit. Doesn't mean that we don't have bias. Of course, we would be lying if we said we didn't have bias. But that's one thing that we work on every single day, is making sure that we don't allow any bias to invade what it is that we're doing clinically. Because honestly, our judgment doesn't matter with what's going on with you. Our goal is to get you from this point to this point based on what it is that you had identified in your intake assessment or and so when we are in a session with you, yes, we're listening to what you have to say, but we recognize that the things that are happening in your life are yours and they're not ours, nor are they anybody else's. And the content, it does make a difference in terms of what we're doing, but honestly, it comes down to just being able to identify what it is that's causing you to not get to your goals, and trying to remove those things, and so that you can move on with your life, and go from there. Courtney, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think sometimes what happens is that so often, there might be something going on and you, because you've never told anybody, thinks it's weird or shameful or awkward. And like Dave said, we've been doing this for a really long time. So, sometimes what we find is what is actually happening is just you having a human experience and having something that's going on that we would consider in the clinical realm, it might be hindering you, but it's in no way, shape, or form as probably weird or as awkward as you think. I think sometimes what happens is people have these things that just like knock around their head. They haven't told anybody. It's been brewing for quite a while. You're the only one with this perception of what's happening. So it feels and probably sounds a whole lot different when it, leaves here and it's now in front of you. And you can get somebody, a therapist who obviously has a safe space for you to share these things with, to get, a different perspective on these situations that you might find yourself in. So the more information that we have, the better it is for us clinically to really help you and guide you in determining your roadmap and how you're going to get from point A to point B, like Dave was saying. So, you know, it does really help us in understanding you better. So, and like Dave said, there is no judgment, there's no bias. We were talking earlier, we're the last people that are going to judge. You know, I would never want somebody to judge us. And one of the things that I think we were talking about earlier, maybe last week, Dave, was the fact that as therapists, we are very much encouraged and sometimes mandated to go to our own therapy as well too, because we need to know what it feels like to be on the receiving end and understand what it feels like to sit in that seat and to be emotionally vulnerable. And so I think that is really what, you know, our goal is to provide that space for you to feel comfortable to share what you might be perceiving as really weird or awkward or uncomfortable. But for us, it's like, okay, I know this. Now I can help you and guide you to the next step and give you a little bit of a maybe different perspective or understanding on what you're going through.
Right. I guess just to jump on that, Courtney, you know, for that hour that we're with you, or 15 minutes, however long we're in a session with you, we're with you. We're taking the journey with you. What's happening to you is happening to us because that's how involved we are in the session with you, because we have to see where you're coming from. So what's happening to you is happening to us in that session. But you are the person that's in the driver's seat. We're you know, on the passenger side saying, hey, look out for this, or you might want to go in this direction, or what have you. And that's what our job is. It doesn't, you know, we don't care about the car, we don't care about the road, we don't care about the, you know, all of those things. It's just a matter of getting you where you need to be. So, you know, please know that we are not judging you. It's just about, you know, going on this journey with you. And so please feel free to open up, share all of the things that you need to share. And please know that we're not allowed to, well, we're not even allowed to say that you exist, much less share your information. So, and that's part of the laws and the ethics that we go by. So your secret is safe with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if anything, it just helps us to help you better. And so, you know, hopefully you have that safe space, you know, whether it's with a therapist or somebody else that can help guide you to, you know, like where you want to be. But yeah, we just really wanted to give you guys some insight into what goes into our brains. I'm always thinking clinically and clinically interpreting what you're saying to me, and how I can best intervene. So again, it's not a matter of like judging or anything like that. And again, we know what it's like to sit on the opposite end and being in a different kind of chair as the client. So we know how hard that can be. So yeah, so in the spirit of you know, having mental health awareness and demystifying this stigma, you know, just know that, you know, a good therapist will be able to check their bias. You know, we go through a lot of training for cultural competencies, confidentiality, ethics. We go through a ton of these trainings to be able to intervene effectively. So, you know, we just encourage you to share what you need to share with a therapist, you know, when the time comes in, and let somebody kind of like walk with you on that journey. So, yeah.
All right. So thanks again for your continued comments and suggestions for videos, and we hope that you keep them coming. We hope that you like us after you watch us, and we'll be here for another video soon.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.